Hi guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how I created this look right here. I actually was inspired by Khloé Kardashian. She has just been killing it with her makeup lately. Obviously she doesn't do her own makeup, her makeup artist does it for her, but I have just really been loving the way her makeup has been done. So I'll show you this photo here in just a second. That's the photo that I will be referencing. I also wanted to briefly mention that when I start the video, my brows are already done, and this time I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer, and I really like it a lot. I can really get a really crisp line under here. Oh, and also in the video, I switched out my lip. The initially I used a pinker lip by ColourPop, and now I switched it out. The two colors are kind of in between what her actual color is. Her shade is kind of like a mauvey pinky color, and the color that I used earlier was a little too pink, and then this one is like a little too burgundy brown. So really I need somewhere kind of in between to make her shade. So yeah, if you want to see how I created this look, then just keep watching.
Okay, so this is the Khloé Kardashian look that I will be basing my look off of. That picture was taken about 6 weeks ago. So my eyebrows are already done. I used the Anastasia Brow Definer in the shade Granite. Now I'm just going to prime my face with the Nivea for Men Post Balm Shave. I have been really loving this primer, or using this as a primer. It really helps my foundation stick, and my foundation goes on very smooth with this product. Now I'm just going to prime my eyes with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the original shade, and I'll just blend that out with my finger. And I'll just set that with some translucent powder. If you don't have a translucent powder, just take like a bone colored eyeshadow and just set that with like a bone colored eyeshadow. That will work just as well. Now I'm going to be taking Creme Brulee on a Sigma E40 brush and just start buffing that into my crease. You can be pretty sloppy with this step. Just make sure that you get it the most pigmented is right there in that crease, and just really blend it out to the best of your ability. Now with this darkest shade in the Kat Von D Shade and Lead palette on a Sigma M441 brush, I'm going to start deepening up the crease of my eye. I really like using this Kat Von D shade because it's not too warm and it's not too cool. It's just the right neutral dark brown to deepen up that crease. With any dark shadow from the Morphe 350 palette, I'm just going to start deepening up the outer corner of my eye. This is a Morphe E28 brush, I believe. And I'm just going to use this to place the product, and then I will go back in with the M441 just to make sure everything is nice and blended. The E28 has a very particular shape that only allows me to place the product. The fibers are very layered, which makes it perfect to pack product. Now I'm going to be taking Blackout in the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, and with this, I'm not even sure what brush this is, but I'll try to find it and link it down below. But just with any small packing brush, I'm just going to pack that on the outer corner of my eye, and then again, I will blend that out with my M441 brush by Morphe. Now I just took a little bit more of that dark brown shadow from the Morphe 350 palette, and I'm just kind of blending that out towards the lid of my eye just to make sure that there's a nice transition from black to this color that I'm showing you here. That was Pink Champagne from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Self-Made palette. I just spritzed my brush with some MAC Fix Plus and just started packing this all over my lid. And I did quite a bit of packing here because I really wanted this to be nice and pigmented. With just a little bit of lotion and some Q-tip, or a Q-tip rather, I'm just going to clean up underneath my eyes where that pink champagne color got all over underneath my eyes. With the Palladio liquid liner, I'm just going to line the very inner portions of my eye. I was completely off camera when I did my liner, so I just cut it out because it was just pointless to leave it in because you just couldn't even see what I was doing. I took Treasure from that Anastasia palette, and I'm just going to highlight my brow bone. You could align your tear duct, but I wanted to leave that blank for today. To make the lid nice and shimmery and sparkly, I took the Urban Decay, I think it's like metallic something, I don't know, but it's basically just glitter in a tube, and I'm going to just place that all over my lid. You could totally skip this step if you don't want this look to be so dramatic, but I wanted to do something really sparkly, so I went ahead and did this step. And I'll just let that set for about 45 seconds to a minute. Now I'm going to be taking the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation and just kind of slopping that onto my face with no rhyme or reason, and just blend that out with a flat top kabuki brush. If you wanted to make this foundation just a little bit more dewy, you could spritz your kabuki brush and blend that out with, you could spritz your brush with MAC Fix Plus, and that would give it a more dewy effect. Whew, couldn't get that out. Now I'm going to be taking the Urban Decay Ultra HD concealer and just start concealing the areas. I was super sloppy today when I applied this, but that's okay. And I'll just blend that out with my damp beauty blender. With the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, I'm just going to set my under eyes. And I will press the product towards my nose the very last several times that I'll do it, because when you go from inner to outer, you're kind of pressing on your creases the way that they lay anyways, and if you go against the grain, so to speak, it prevents creasing for a much longer time. Now with Lyric and Lucid, the two colors on the left hand side, or the left color and the middle color rather, I'm just going to highlight the rest of my concealed areas. Now on this fluffy brush, I'm going to be taking, I think it's Subconscious, and do a little bit of shading on my nose and start chiseling out my cheekbones. In a second, you'll see me using like this really flat, weird brush. I initially bought this brush here. I initially bought that brush to really make a really precise contour, but it is so thin, I would literally be drawing a tiger stripe on my face. So I thought it would be good to chisel out my cheekbones, but I'm not even sure that I like it for that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I may end up sending it back. Now I'm just going to do a little bit of bronzing with the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit. And then I'll just wipe away those lighter shades. And with that super fast clip of the Morphe 9B palette, I'm going to just blush up my cheeks just a little bit. And this is Soft and Gentle by MAC, and I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting on the high points of my cheekbones. And a little bit on my chin, and a little bit on my nose. Now I'm going to take Blackout again, just on a flat shader brush, and I'm going to start very tightly packing that underneath my lash line. I'll just pack that really, really tight, and then I'll go back in with the brown shade from the Morphe 350 palette and just really blend that out. I want this to be blended out, but I also want this color to stay really nice and tight, if that makes sense. So I don't want it to be smoked out where it's really like a thick chunk of color underneath my eyes. I want it to stay nice and tight, but also nice and blended. Now I'm just going to be taking, I have no idea, this pencil is so small and so shaven down and like sharpened down that I don't even know what brand of pencil this is, but with any black eye kohl, just tightline the lower lash line and the inner tear ducts of your eyes. And with L'Oreal Telescopic, I am going to give my lower lashes a nice thick coat and my top lashes a fairly thin coat. Now I'm just going to be taking Boudoir by House of Lashes with the clear lash adhesive and just pop those on my lashes. These lashes are super dramatic. If you're looking for something really dramatic, I would highly recommend these. They're not very wispy, but they're just really intense and really dramatic. If you're looking for something a little more subtle and natural, I would suggest the Ardell Demi 120s. Those are really good starter lashes, and they look really natural, or natural as fake lashes can look, but they're really pretty. They're just more difficult to apply since they've got a thinner band. I initially went in with I think it's called Lumiere 2 by ColourPop, but after this dried, it ended up being way too pink, so I actually took this off and filmed my intro with Clueless by ColourPop. Clueless ended up being just a little too burgundy brown, so somewhere in between is more like her color, but just use whatever you have. Thank you guys so much for watching.